If you are preparing for the TOEFL using 2025 strategies, you are already losing your points because those tactics no longer work in new 2026 tests. So in this video, I will break down 5 strategies you should stop using and how to fix them immediately. Welcome to Ace Your TOEFL with Study.com. I'm Daiki, a Japanese medical student studying in Hungary, and we're the only official TOEFL prep partner here to help you ace your TOEFL exam. The first strategy that no longer works and is shocking to many of you is memorizing templates for speaking and writing. Until now, students learn Polish script like, I agree with the female student's opinion for the following 2 reasons. Firstly, the idea was to plug in different examples and sound structured. And it was actually a pretty good strategy to save time in speaking and writing section. But unfortunately in 2026, this approach fails. Speaking is now shorter and more natural, with take an interview and listen and repeat tasks. Writing now includes tasks like build a sentence and write an email, which are practical and more direct. So if you use a template you memorize in these tasks, it simply doesn't match and is likely to sound awkward. For example, if the interviewer asks, so tell me about a challenge you overcame. Answering with, I agree with the female student's opinion, obviously doesn't fit, right? What works instead is learning flexible phrases you can adapt. Learning short transition phrases like, here's my perspective or from my point of view can make you sound fluent and more authentic. The second strategy you should stop using is skimming reading passages without fully engaging. Old advice told students to skim quickly and then go straight into questions. This was working for some people when passages were wrong and predictable. However, in the 2026 reading section, the passages are shorter and much denser. So every detail actually matters. And because the test is adaptive, how you perform in stage 1 directly affects the difficulty of stage 2. So if you skim too much, you miss subtle connections that harder questions are trying to test. So better approach would be active reading. Skim for the main idea and then slow down and carefully recognize transitions, tone, and key details. For example, in this paragraph, when you skim through the passage, you should be able to immediately find transition phrases like, for instance, despite or additionally. Identifying these transition words will help you understand the structure of the passage and flow of the ideas better. Active reading can even save your time because you won't have to reread everything under pressure. The third outdated habit is guessing answers based on patterns. Some students used to say things like, if 2 answers look similar, one must be correct. Or, the longest answer is usually right. But in 2026, those tricks are useless. New question types like complete the words or listen and repeat simply don't follow these patterns. The correct answer entirely depends on what you actually see or hear during the exam. No pattern can help you choose the right word. Also, the adaptive design randomizes the question set, so you can't rely on the old shortcuts. So instead of trying to get away with the pattern guessing, you should focus on the real comprehension. Reading for relationship between the ideas, listening for tone and intent, and actually understanding the content. Don't even try to cheat. The fourth strategy to leave behind is practicing only academic English. For so many years, TOEFL prep focused only on academic content like essays, research texts, and formal paper, but this is no longer true. The 2026 TOEFL includes both academic and everyday English. Yes, you still have some academic materials, but you will also face voicemail, email, or announcement. If you prepare only with academic content, you will struggle with the daily life tasks. So I suggest you to find a balance in your preparation. Not only practice lecture and essays, but also practice casual conversation and polite communication. And honestly, these skills are learned the best outside of the normal desk study. So go make real friends, email to your English teacher, and try to integrate English into your daily life as much as possible. I personally think this is a good change because the goal of studying for TOEFL is to be able to actually use English in your real life, right? Last but not least, the outdated strategy is obsessing over getting perfect 120 score. The old TOEFL reported score on 0 to 120 scale, and some students often aim for that magic number. But in 2026, that is not how the test works. Each section is now reported on a score from 1 to 6, aligned with CEFR-aligned, that score worldwide already recognized. During a 2-year transition, you can still see both old and new scale, but universities are moving towards 1 to 6 system. So instead of chasing 120, focus on reaching CEFR level your program asks for. For example, a master's program might ask for C1, which means 5 or 6 on a new TOEFL. So make sure you reach that level on each section. Alright, so these were the 5 strategies you should stop using in 2026. Just to sum up, don't memorize template, don't rely on skimming, don't trust answer patterns, don't stick to only academic practice, and don't obsess over perfect 120 score. Instead, prepare with flexible language, active comprehension, real English skills, balanced content, and a clear CEFR target. Alright, so I hope you found this video helpful, and if you've used any of these strategies before, please let us know in the comment below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to help us grow. If you want to learn more about each task in detail, check out our other videos on ACE or TOEFL, where we walk through real practice questions step by step. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.